Hello everyone and welcome to my book club show. Dear friends, we are taking a book by Dale Carnegie. I told you Dale Carnegie is an American writer and his book How to Stop Worrying and Start Living. We are taking his book How to Stop Worrying and Start Living, and today we are going to take the second chapter of that book. Which is the second chapter? The second chapter is a magic formula for solving worry situations. In the second chapter, he has told us how to solve worry problems, and he has told here one formula, and he says that this formula is like a magic. This is a magic formula for solving worry situations. And in the very beginning of this book, writer tells us that before reading all the book, in the second chapter I will tell you how to solve the problem of worry. And here he gives an example of an engineer. There was a young engineer and his name was Willis H. Carrier. What was his name? His name was Willis H. Carrier. And when he was young, at that time, he was working in one company in New York. And he was told to find out one instrument that will pure the gas. He had to install one instrument in the company of gas that will pure impurities which are among the gas, and that's why it will not do any harm to the engines. Because of gas, there were some instruments which will help them to pure gas or to destroy impurities in the gas, and he had given that project and he was working on that project. And that company had invested $20,000 rupees in that project, and this engineer was doing the work of making pure gas. His work was to make gas pure. He was working on that project, but what happened? He failed in that project, and when he failed in that project, at that time he became upset. He was stunned, he was shocked, and now he was not able to do anything in life. He was continuously thinking about the failure, and then he was not able to eat, he was not able to sleep. But then after some days he understood that taking tension or doing worry is not good for his health, and for his job also it is not good. Then he decided to overcome this problem of worry. He decided to fight with this problem of worry. And what did he do? First of all, he decided to accept the worst which will happen due to this failure. He thought, what will happen? What will be the worst result of his failure? Then he thought that he had failed, and due to that company had lost $20,000, and that's why company will fire him from the job. He will lose his job. This was the first worst possibility. Second possibility, what was the second possibility? Second possibility was that this was an experiment. They were doing experiment so that company can say that this was the expenditure of an experiment, and company was able to bear this expenditure. And then he thought that if company will fire me from the job, then he was ready to accept it. Then what will he do if company had fired him from the job? Then he will search another job. What will he do? He will search another job, and because he will get another job, because his work was good, and nobody was going to put him in a jail, or nobody was going to shoot him. Then he thought that now I was ready to accept the worst. And then when he was ready to accept the worst, he was feeling, how was he feeling? He was feeling relaxed. And now he was able to sleep. Now he was able to eat. And now he was able to think also. Before that, he was not able to think properly. Now he was thinking how to solve the problem. Now he was thinking how to solve the problem. And then he invested more $5,000 in that project. And when he invested $5,000 and he worked on the same project again, then he found out one instrument that worked to pure the gas, and he became successful in his project, and now he was happy. But he said that if he continuously was taking tension of his failure, or he was continuously worrying about the failure, it was not possible for him to find out the solution for that problem. And now he says that this incident happened with him before 35 years ago, and since those 35 years he has been using this formula with himself, and now he never worry about any problem in his life, or when he fails he never takes tension. He just thinks what will be the effect, what will be the worst effect of his failure. Then he is ready, he is mentally ready to face with that effect, and then he tries to find out the solution for that problem. This is the story of young engineer. Now the second thing in this book, now he has told us about another Professor William James. Second story is of Professor William James. Who was Professor William James? He was the father of applied psychology. Has been dead for 38 years. He was the father of applied psychology, but he was now no more. He was dead before 38 years ago. But if he was there, then he also would have accepted the formula told by this young engineer, because he used to tell his students, accept what has happened is the first step in overcoming the consequences any misfortune. Acceptance of what has happened is the first step in overcoming the consequences of any misfortune. What was his opinion? His opinion was that we should accept the worst result of our action, and we should try to face that problem, or we should try to find out the solution for that problem. Now, one more example. The same idea was expressed by Lin Yutang in the widely read book, The Importance of Living. There was one more person, his name was Lin Yutang, and he had written a book, The Importance of Living. The title of that book was The Importance of Living, and in that book he has told, true peace of mind, said this Chinese philosopher, comes from accepting the worst. Psychologically, I think it means a release of energy. That's it exactly. Psychologically, it means a new release of energy. When we have accepted the worst, we have nothing more to lose, and that automatically means we have everything to gain. When we accept the worst effect of the action, then we have nothing to lose. We have already lost everything, and what is there? We have everything to gain. Now we have everything to gain, because mentally we have accepted that we have lost everything because of our failure. And when we mentally accept that we have lost everything because of failure, at that time we have nothing to lose. So when we have nothing to lose, at that time we need not to worry about anything, and at that time we have everything to gain, we have everything to achieve. This is also psychologically or psychological truth. Now writer gives one more example of a young man. He was running an oil company. He was the owner of an oil company, and one day he was blackmailed. He says that he thought it is not true to blackmail somebody. It happens only in the movies, but he says it happened with him. He had many trucks and many drivers to supply oil to his customers. And one day, one person came to him, and that person said to him that he is an inspector, police inspector. And he said that your driver is giving less oil to one customer, and he had all the proofs of that. And that's why he is going to register a case against him. And he demanded, if you don't want case against you, then you should give me $5,000. And the man went away. When he heard that that man is demanding $5,000, and it was true that his driver was giving less fuel, less oil to somebody, but he thought it is not his mistake, it is not his crime, it is the crime of his driver. But then there was rule, though some employee does mistake, then company is responsible for that, employer is responsible for that. Then he was thinking and thinking and thinking. For 3 days he was not able to sleep, and he was not able to eat. Why? Because this company was founded by his father 24 years ago, and this was his proud. And he was thinking that if he did not give money to that man, he had threatened him, he will go to district collector or some district attorney. He will register case against him towards district attorney. Then this will be published in the newspaper. And so what will happen? Then it will be insult for his company. His company may collapse because of insult, because of bad name. His company may collapse. And then he was thinking about it, and he was worried about it. He was not able to sleep, and he was not able to eat. But one day he took a book. Which was given to him when he was doing a public speaking course by Dale Carnegie. And he was given a book. At that time he took that book, How to Stop Worrying and Start Living, and he read in that book about the formula, 3-step formula. And then he thought about it, what will be the worst result of this, that it will be bad name for his company. His company will become ill famous, and that's why he will have to close his company. Then what will he have to do? He will have to search a job. And he thought that he will get a job. Nobody will put him in the jail, or nobody will shoot him. He will have to lose his job. And he had good experience. That's why it was possible for him to get a job. So on that night he decided that tomorrow I will meet a lawyer. And he went to bed. And that night he slept like a dog. And tomorrow in the morning his lawyer told him that he should go to district attorney and he should tell all the situation to the district attorney. Then he went to district attorney and he told that such type of mistakes has happened by the hand of his driver, and that man is demanding him $5,000. Then district attorney said that there is a racket of thieves, they are demanding such type of money to the businessman, and that man who had demanded him money was not real inspector. And he told him, go and be relaxed, don't worry about it. And then he came back and he became very happy, he became relaxed. And now from that day onwards he never takes tension. He applies this formula, 3 rule formula, and now he is happy in his life. And third example is given in this book. This example is about Earl P. Haney. This was a young businessman and he was having ulcer in his stomach. He had some stomach problem, so he was taking treatment to expert doctors. From expert doctors he was taking treatment, but expert doctor of stomach had told him that his disease cannot be cured and he will have to prepare for death, and he had advised him to write his will. Then he was not able to sleep, he was not able to eat, he was not able to think, he was continuously under pressure, he was worrying about death, he was worried about death. So one day he thought that now he is going to die, now he is going to die. So before that he should fulfill his wishes, and his wish was to go on world tour. He decided to go on world tour before his death. Then doctors told him, don't go on world tour because he will die there while doing his journey. But he did not listen to them. He said, I have taken a coffin with me. He had bought a coffin with him, and he had told his friends to bring his dead body to America if he will die during his journey. And he had told them to bury him in his own farm. And he went to tour, but he went via ship. He went on sea voyage, and he forgot about his illness, he forgot about his disease, and he was enjoying his tour. He was drinking wine, he was eating non-veg or whatever he liked, he was eating those things. And the things which were told by doctor him not to eat, he was eating them. He was not worried about it. And he was awake till midnight. He was dancing, he was singing, he was enjoying each and everything. And when he reached in India and China, he saw that there was poverty and people were not able to get 3 times food. Then he stopped worrying about his business and he became relaxed. He was not taking any tension from that day onwards. He was not worrying about anything. And now he returned to America and his disease was cured. From that day onwards, he has never gone to hospital, and he is automatically cured because he stopped worrying. And here at the end of the book, writer says us, if Willis H. Carrier could save a $20,000 contract, if a New York businessman could save himself from blackmail, if Earl P. Haney could actually save his life by using this magic formula, then isn't it possible that it may be the answer to some of your troubles? Isn't it possible that it may even solve some problems you thought were unsolvable? So rule 2 is, if you have worry problem, apply the magic formula of Willis H. Carrier by doing these 3 things. And at the end of this chapter, writer tells us that if you have some worry problem, then we also should apply the magic formula told in this book. What is this magic formula? 3-step magic formula. First step, ask yourself, what is the worst that can possibly happen? We should ask ourselves, what will be the worst result of our failure or due to the problem which has occurred in our life. Second thing, prepare to accept it if you have to. And now you have to prepare to accept it. Accept the worst. It means you have to say to your mind that now I have lost everything, and so I need not to worry, because now I have nothing to lose. I have everything to gain. And then calmly proceed to improve on the worst, and then calmly, peacefully try to find out the solution for that problem. If you will calmly peacefully try to find out the solution, then you will get solution. This is the magic formula. Here in this chapter, writer has told us that what do we do when something wrong happens with us, or some mistake happens by our hands, or when we get failed in our action. At that time we are worried. Why are we worried? We are worried about the effect of our failures. But he says you should not be worried about the effects of your failure. You should try to find out what will be the worst effect of your failure, and then you should prepare your mind to accept that worst effect of your failure, and then you should peacefully try to find out the solution. Or you should tell to yourself that now I have lost everything and now I have nothing to lose, only I have everything to gain. Now I have everything to achieve. This is the magic formula to be tension free, or to get rid from worry, to get rid from stress. That's it, my dear friends. If you like this video, like it, comment it, share it, and if you have not subscribed to my channel, then don't forget to subscribe it. That's it.